'Twas the night before Christmas, when the stirred sir mixed. He made a fine cocktail using many neat tricks. Wanting to impress Santa and show he's no rookie, the stirred sir set out a glass of milk and plenty of cookies.
What's shaking, my subscribers? It's the stirred sir here, and I wanted to say Merry Christmas. And today we are going to be making Milk for Santa, which is going to be an original hot eggnog cocktail, and it uses that Christmas syrup that was from a previous video. So make sure to go on back and check that out, or else making this today will be kind of hard. And let's get on into it. So before we get into actually making the drink, I'm using a few tools that I don't normally use. So I wanted to go over them. First, I have an emulsifier, or some people use it to like whip their milk if they're doing like an espresso. It just is like a little whisk, spins really fast, and we're gonna be using that to froth up the egg and the cream to make the eggnog really thick and creamy without having to shake it for too long.
For this recipe, you will need bourbon, Jamaican rum or brandy, sweet vermouth, Angostura bitters, heavy cream, Christmas syrup, an egg, cookies, and you will also need some boiling water. First, you're gonna crack a whole egg into the shaker. Do your best not to get any shell in. Now 1.5 ounces of heavy cream. If you want it to be a little less thick, you can do light cream, but I like eggnog to be really thick and creamy. 1 dash of Angostura bitters. Remember this guy from the last video? I found that some of the stuff can settle at the bottom, so it's good to shake this a little bit before using. And it's gonna sound like a lot of syrup, but we're gonna add 1.5 ounces. Remember, it's a 1 part sugar, 1 part water, so it's not quite as sweet as my other syrups. So it's not as much as it sounds. And 1/2 ounce of sweet vermouth. So briefly about these two ingredients. Originally, I made it with just a little bit of Jamaican rum and the bourbon, and I personally really like it, but I know some people don't like Jamaican rum. So today we're gonna try it with brandy, and I'll let you know how it is. I haven't tried it with brandy yet, so I'm kind of excited myself. And we're gonna do 1 ounce of our brandy. And same amount, 1 ounce of bourbon. If you do the Jamaican rum, I suggest doing 1 3/4 ounce bourbon and 1/4 ounce of Jamaican rum. So now you're gonna do what's called a dry shake. I don't have any ice in my tins. I'm gonna just shake it really hard just to mix that egg in. Otherwise, it won't really incorporate with the rest of the drink and it will kind of be a little weird. With that emulsifier, we're gonna be mixing even more. So just something real quick to incorporate it. So I put the cocktail into my small tin, and I got a clean, fresh tin that's bigger, and we're gonna do something that's called a Bain Marie. It's a little bit different, so I'll show you how to make it. This is where our hot water comes into play. I'm going to put about 1/3 of the large tin full of hot water, and I'm going to put hot water into the glass I'm gonna serve it in to heat that up so that when we put the cocktail in, it stays nice and hot. And now we can float the small tin inside of the large, and when I stir this, it will heat up the cocktail on the inside just based on that motion, and it will conduct that heat. So I'm gonna stir this for a little bit. You wanna be kind of careful with this because you are working with really hot shaker tins now. So only hold the very top and don't shake it around too much. And also, this is where you can change this cocktail a lot just based off of the technique that you use. The more you stir, the thinner the cocktail would be. But then now I'm going to switch from the spoon to the emulsifier, and this will thicken it back up. So the longer you use this, the thicker it will be. So you want to kind of keep picking it up out of the cocktail and judge where you're going to like it. I kind of like it thick and creamy, so we're gonna emulsify for a little bit. And with this, you kind of want to work from the bottom and bring it up to the top, and that will foam up that top of the cocktail, and then work your way back down to mix it, and back up and down. I'm gonna do this like 3 times, and I think that should be pretty good. So now we are going to pour our cocktail through a fine strainer. Now we're gonna make some whipped cream. So we're gonna use our Christmas syrup again. Do 1 part Christmas syrup, do 2 parts heavy cream, and we are going to use the emulsifier to thicken that up and make ourselves a homemade whipped cream. So go a little slow so you don't go over the edge if you're using a small thing like this. You can see it fluffing up. You also can put this into a shaker tin or something and shake it up, and it will do the exact same thing. There's just less dishes to do. See, it's already thickening up quite a bit. And I think that is good. We got whipped cream. Last thing to add, carefully put about an ounce of hot water in. That'll make up for the dilution that we didn't get because we didn't shake. And now you can just spoon on the whipped cream. It'll float right on top there. And if you haven't noticed, this is going to be a very rich, creamy dessert type cocktail. I think that's a good amount. Lastly, we are going to garnish it with these fun cookies that are intended to be placed on the side of the mug. My grandma actually found these and thought it was a fun idea as a garnish for a cocktail. There we have the milk for Santa. You got the creamy milk and the cookie and all. Yeah, this is really good. I don't know if I like the brandy or the Jamaican rum more. Both are amazing. If you've had Jamaican rum, it's got like a weird, funky, fruity-ish kind of flavor. If you like that, go with the Jamaican, but this is really good. I think anyone would like this. You don't have to like that funky Jamaican rum. It is very thick and rich and creamy, and it's exactly what I would want if I was out all night in the cold, flying through the air in a sleigh, and got home and was dead beat and tired and just wanted something to warm me up and put me to sleep. And this is exactly that. I'm very happy with this one. Even the cookie's good on top. So my wife just tasted it and she said it was really good, but it was a little too thick for her. Like I said, if you use the emulsifier a little bit less, it won't be as thick. So for her, I would use that a little bit less. And she said a little bit more of a boozy kick to it would be nice. And that's exactly what the Jamaican rum did too. That funkiness kind of brought out the booze more, made you taste it a little bit more. This is a little bit more silent but deadly. You don't taste the booze too much. That's why I think I like that Jamaican rum a little bit more, but this is something anyone would like. Maybe change the thickness depending on your preference. But I think that's about it. I'm going to be enjoying this for the night, and it will put me to sleep very soon. And have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I would love it if you gave me a great Christmas present and joined the Sir-scribers and like and subscribe to YouTube. Find me on Facebook, find me on Instagram. I would love that, and I'd love to see some comments. And if you have any recommendations on future drinks or anything you want to see, let me know. I'm just starting out. I'm willing to make some changes, so I like to hear it. Thanks. Can't wait to share a sip with you in the next video.